So, hello everyone. I will be the reporter of our very first topic with this SEM, which is about Philippine Electrical Code. So, for us electrical engineers or would-be electrical engineers, kailangan natin na maging familiarized dito sa code na ito. Well, according to my research and given na din sa mga na-experience natin, itong PEC na to is considered as Bible of electrical practitioners. So, malalaman natin kung bakit nga ba yon ang naging turing natin dito. So, let's first have a quick overview. Ang PEC daw was first published in 1962 and revised a total of 9 times. So, including yung date of publication or year of publication niya in 1962, sinundan siya in 1967, then 1973, 1980, 1985, 1992, 2000, 2009, and the latest nitong year 2017. And proceeding with the purpose, we emphasize the words safety and adequacy. Well, mainly sa safety. Why? So, nakapasok dyan kasi ang handle natin as electrical engineers or electrical practitioners, yun na nga, is electricity, which is very dangerous. So, ito yung purpose or one of the purpose of PEC. As for the adequacy, well, meron tayong tinatawag na given provisions na minimum requirements na kakailangan natin sa mga ginagawa natin as electrical practitioners. Mas ma-explain pa ito later on. So, let's proceed. Just take note, itong PEC, although accessible siya by everyone, hindi siya basta-basta magagamit by everyone. So, to make it short, hindi siya instruction manual for untrained persons. So, kumbaga, meron pa ding mga qualifications para sa paggamit nito. And maintindihan natin yan at the latter part nitong discussion. So, we also have application. So, here, we can see that PEC is a mandatory and minimum standard. So, bakit ba mandatory and minimum standard? Here, it is considered mandatory standard for government agencies like LGUs, TESDA, DPWH, etc. And then a minimum standard for the design, installation, use, and maintenance of electrical equipment. Then, PEC is a code itself na nga. But it is always used in conjunction with other standards, such as the NEC and IEC standards combined. So, take for example the PEC edition 2017. It is based on the National Electrical Code 2017 and the Section 131 of International Electrotechnical Commission or the IEC 60364-1 of electrical installation buildings. So, yun. May basis pa din or kumbaga may ibang kasama itong PEC natin. So, next is the layout. So, dun sa PEC, makikita natin to lagi. We have this example, 2.50.1.4. So, this is actually referring to the chapter, article, part, and section. So, makikita mo na lang ito sa ng kulay. So, itong 2.50.1.4 is actually the general requirements for grounding and bonding. So, this is only an example. Makikita natin yan all throughout sa ng PEC. Ganyan ang, kumbaga, structure niya. Proceeding, we also have what we call fine print notes or the FPN. These are additional information pero hindi naman siya yung enforceable or kumbaga mandatory sa ng PEC. Actually, these are only for additional information. Then next, we have the chapters. Sa 2017 edition nitong code na to, meron tayong total of 10 chapters. These are the general, wiring and protection, wiring methods and materials, equipment for general use, special occupancy, special equipment, special conditions, communication systems, watercrafts, and tables. So, here we have the table of contents. Makikita natin yung iba't ibang articles and sections. And super dami nga niya. There. Makikita natin. Then, as additional for this quick overview, itong PEC is actually divided into two parts. So, we have PEC Part 1, which focuses on electrical installation inside buildings, and then the Part 2, which focuses on electrical installation outside buildings. The PEC is mandated by Republic Act 7920, formerly RA 184, or the new Electrical Engineering Law. So, yung other codes pa na ginagamit alongside this one is the Presidential Decree 1096 or the National Building Code, Presidential Decree 1185 or the Fire Code of the Philippines, and the Structural Code. So, we also have government authorities who implement this code. Particularly, magpo-focus tayo dito sa Office of the Building Official or OBO of Electrical Engineering. Others include Office of the City Electrician, Office of the Municipal Electrician, and the Regional Office of the DOLE. So, after the quick overview, we will now proceed to the Chapter 1, which is General. So, the Chapter 1 General includes an introduction. So, here, meron tayo nung sa purpose. Ang purpose ng Philippine Electrical Code is used nationally as the basis for safeguarding. Yun na nga, nabanggit kanina. But here, mapofocus tayo sa persons, buildings, and its contents from hazards that may arise from the use of electricity. So, kanina nabanggit natin ang adequacy. So, here, the PEC contains provisions that are considered minimum requirements necessary for safety. So, related talaga yung ng adequacy for safety din. Then, we have next, the scope. So, on scope is that it covers the installation of electrical conductors, equipment, etc. within or onto or from. So, here makikita natin yung iba't ibang lugar na pwedeng anuhan ng mga installation. So, some of the few includes public and private buildings, industrial plants, transformer stations, etc. Then, proceeding, we have authority. So, itong PEC is approved and adopted by the Board of Electrical Engineering or Professional Regulation Commission. So, the PRC. Then, we have the enforcement. So, kanina nabanggit ko na din na meron tayong nung dun sa OBOEE. So, ang handle ng OBOEE dito is yung mandatory application over electrical installations. Sa kanila din na nakalaan yung responsibility of implementing provisions. Then, we also have here na pwedeng mag-require ng new products, materials, equipment, etc. na not yet available at time of the code, na na-adapt yung code. So, here we have also definitions. Meron tayong tinatawag na mandatory rules. So, these are those that are specifically required or prohibited. And makakarakterize natin siya with the use of the words shall or shall not. Then we have the permissive rules. So, allowed siya but not required. So, this refers to the options or alternative methods. Then we have explanatory material. So, ito daw yung mga references to other standards, references to related sections. Included here yung tinatawag natin kanina FPN. And then, the appendices, which are non-mandatory information on the use of the code. Not required din siya, and like the FPN, are for information purposes only. So, next, we have the definitions. So, here, nakikita natin yung iba't ibang terms na ma-encounter natin sa code. So, these are just few of the many terms na defined in the code. Then we have the permits and inspection certificates. So, we need electrical permits. Here stated, contractors shall obtain electrical permit for buildings or other premises from the office of the local building official and for watercrafts from the Maritime Industry Authority. So, kailangan pa din talaga ng permit. And here, we also have the requirements. So, included within the requirements are the signatures and submittals, particularly of the applicant, the PEE who signed and sealed the electrical plan and specification, the LEP or the licensed electrical practitioner na in charge dun sa electrical works or installation, the building owner, lot owner, and building officials. And kailangan ng 5 sets of complete electrical plans signed and sealed by PEE. So here we have an example of the electrical permit. Yan, makikita niyan. Kailangan nitong sa total connection load in kVA, yung nitong sa sign of the PEE and the electrical practitioner in charge na merong PTR. So the PTR refers to the pre-commissioning test report. So next, we have the electrical inspection. So kailangan din ng application for inspection na nakafile sa OBO bago magkaroon ng both preliminary and or final inspection. Then we have the certificate of inspection. Stated here that no electrical installation, alteration, and or addition shall be connected or reconnected to any power supply or any other source of electrical energy without nitong certificate na ito. Next, we can now proceed to the electrical plans and specifications. So here, indicated are the drawing sheet sizes. So familiar na tayo dito, particularly sa A3, which is a general size na nga. So ito are the different options for the sheet sizes. Depende din ito sa occupancy. And stated here, graphic scale shall be shown on each drawing sheet. Then, proceeding, we have the plans and specifications. First, we have the location and site plans. Second, the electrical layout. So, ito yung floor plan showing location of equipment and devices and their interconnection wiring. So, in the electrical layout, included yung plano for power, lighting and receptacle outlets, and fire alarm circuits. Proceeding, kailangan din natin sa plans and specifications ang design analysis. This is very important. So the first part includes the branch circuits, sub-feeders, feeders, busways, and service entrance. Second, we have the types, ratings, and trip settings of overload protective devices, which is nandito sa example, picture example. So we have the brand, type, na air circuit breaker rating of 2,000 ampere and KAIC rating of 85. So ang KAIC refers to kiloampere interrupting capacity. It is the measurement of the ability of a circuit breaker para ma-withstand yung short circuit or overload. Then next part pa ng design analysis is the calculation of short circuit current. So, ang calculation of short circuit current is used to determine interrupting capacity of overcurrent protective device. Then, next we have the calculation of voltage drops. So, stated here or shown here is the formula for voltage drop, which is equal to square root of 3 times the current and impedance multiplied by the length in meters all over 305 meters times 1 over number of sets. Then next we have the protection coordination of overcurrent protected device. And lastly, under design analysis is the arc flash hazard analysis. So this is used to determine the PPE required. Then next, we also have substation plans and specifications. So we have requirements for indoor and outdoor substation plans. So sa indoor, meron kang location and dimension, substation structural requirements, substation electrical requirements, cross-sectional views, and miscellaneous. When it comes to outdoor substation, pareho lang siya nun sa indoor substation except na dun na nga sa walls and roof, ang meron sa outdoor is the details and fence and supporting steel structure shall be shown. And this is in accordance with the latest edition of the PEC, Part 2. Then, we also have the requirements for electrical installations. This covers general requirements for examination and approval, installation and use, access to and spaces about electrical conductors and equipment, and shall only be acceptable if approved. So, kailangan ng approval. Here are the different criteria for examination of electrical inspection. So first is the suitability for the installation. Second is the mechanical strength and durability. Third is the wire bending and connection space. Fourth, electrical installation. Fifth, Heating effects produced by the equipment under normal and abnormal condition of use. 6. Arcing effects. 7th, class, type, size, voltage, ampacity, and specific use of equipment. So, yan yung mga criteria. So, dun muna tayo magtatapos for Chapter 1. So, these are just the highlights of the Chapter 1 general. Hindi ko nalalahatin since that would take a lot of time. So, proceeding, we have the Chapter 2, which is titled The Wiring and Protection. So, Chapter 2, Wiring and Protection, covers a total of 11 articles. So, we have use and identification of grounded conductors, branch circuits, feeders, branch circuit feeder and service load calculations. Yan, mababasa. Outside branch circuits and feeders, services, overcurrent protection, grounding and bonding, surge arresters over 1000 volts, surge protective devices or SPDs, 1000 volts or less, and the protection against lightning. So, bale ang pinakamapapag-focusan lang ng discussion in Chapter 2 is from 2.0 to 2.30.